도저히 프로토스로 우승할 수 있는 희망이 안 보이더라고요. 우승이 김유진에서 끊긴 거에서 너무 굉장히 아쉬운 마음이 크고요. 프로토스들이 그래도 뭐 지금 프로토스가 이제 EWC 우승 공적으로 오히려 프로토스가 제일 약한 것 같고요. 그래도
Ballsy strategy to do this. It has not paid off. herO can't believe it. GG.
그냥 장난반도 진단반으로 적으로 바꿀까 뭐 그냥 그런 말을 선수들한테 대충 그냥 농담 반 진단반으로 하긴 했습니다. 네, 아무래도 작년이랑 비교했을 때는 그래도 프로토스의 에너지를 채워주는 게 그 스킬이 생긴 게 굉장히 크다라고 생각을 하고 좋은 쪽으로 패치가 됐을 때 그 시너지가 더 발휘됐던 것 같고요. 그 부분이 제일 컸던 것 같습니다.
herO has just wiped the floor with his Terran army. He is going to the GSL Codes Finals.
There's definitely a shift happening in 2025 so far. I mean, Protoss players are looking better than really they have in all of Legacy of the Void, which is like a decade at this point. It's been a very long time since SOS's win. So yeah, I think Protoss has a very real shot at this year's EWC.
또 우승을 할 수 있겠다. 밸런스가 어느 정도 맞는 것 같아가지고 지금 메타가 좀 저랑 잘 맞는 것 같고 절치부심해서 이번엔 꼭 우승해야 된다고 생각해야 되는 적기라고 생각하는 게 패치 방향도 좋았고 많은 선수들이 올라왔기 때문에
He's going to push out. He's going to close this out.
Whatever happens this year, we'll have probably the most even playing field among the races, which I'm excited to see what all the players have been cooking up.
GG Classic is your GSL Codes champion.
프로토스들이 힘내서 이번에 10년 만에 우승을 했으면 좋겠네요. 이번엔 꼭 제가 아니더라도 프로토스가 우승했으면 좋겠습니다. 프로토스가 충분히 우승할 수 있다라고 생각하고
Absolutely incredible. He came to BlizzCon as an underdog. He took home the World Championship and the World Championship Series. SOS!
And with that, we now have our next round of 8 match. herO here, the hope of Aya, is going to go up against Solar as the Zerg looks to wash over the green wave. Is it time for Protoss to make it through into the round of 4? Or will
What is this
Solar
green
have
wave?
something else to say about that one? Because it's going to be Falcons going up against Twisted Minds here.
I still don't know where that
Saudi
started.
Derby. Joining me, I have Loco as well as Tasteley to talk about this one. Loco, herO is looking cool. Solar is also looking cool.
Both of them are looking really
We'll see what they have to
cool.
say. I
But
have
what
my own
happens when you
thoughts,
have
of
two
course.
cool guys playing against each other, right? In a best of 5 series. I mean, looking at their results in 2025 so far, especially against each other, it seems that across the board,
I hope they
herO
bring
is
up
just performing
hero's
better.
recent
His
form.
Protoss versus Zerg is just on another level right now. In general, everybody seems to be struggling quite a bit. I also kind of feel like Solar's playstyle, he likes to all in a lot.
He does.
I feel like it works
True.
really well, especially against, well, for herO, right? Like, works well in favor of herO there.
Very short thought, Tasteless. We're almost ready.
Oh.
These two guys are so evenly matched. I think it could go either way. herO does not play as much of that withdrawn kind of macro style. I think he's capable of doing it. His games are a little bit more explosive. Solar with a lot of range. I think it's probably going to go to game 5.
It's time for the round of 8 here. herO goes up against Solar in our next match.
Take it away, hosts.
One spot in the top 4 up for grabs. We've seen 2 teammates take on each other in a heartbreaking personal matchup. But this next one, it's all business.
A clash of Saudi home teams, this matchup has extra stakes for the local fans, and they've shown up in force. So give it up for Twisted Minds herO and Falcons Solar. Some heroes thrive under a yellow sun. Will that be the case for our Protoss Superman today? Or will his fate and his key be on the line?
Or will the solar power be unleashed here in Riyadh? You best not call him a villain if he takes down a hero. Casters,
God damn it.
Our next game is ready. Let's get down to business.
Shaking my head.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Artosis here alongside State, and this is going to be an excellent and probably pretty aggressive Protoss versus Zerg match. Oh yeah, I mean anytime you have herO in a
So very quickly here, I'm gonna echo some of what was said on the casting couch earlier. Solar has been very cheesy, very aggressive in PvZ. He's been hyper aggressive and he's been avoiding the late game like a plague. Many Zerg players have. That goes for Solar, Rogue, and Shin. A lot of the Korean Zerg players have been hyper cheesy. Meanwhile, what I wanted someone to bring up, which has yet to happen, is that herO has been very inactive. herO has been very inactive as of late. There's been very limited matches available in recent months for herO because he has been intentionally hiding builds in preparation for EWC. Now, one of the last times we saw herO on the big stage in this matchup was GSL, and they should bring up GSL Season 2 semifinals when herO played against Rogue, and what happened in that series, Rogue cheesed the hell out of herO and cheesed herO out of GSL. So this aggression, this aggressive nature that Solar is known for as well, not just Rogue, not just Shin, but Solar as well, we've already seen this work already in GSL versus herO. Could work again. We'll see how herO has been getting ready.
I think 3-1, 3-2 herO. All right. Well, of course, as always, I have to disagree with you, State. You know, I think you guys are mostly right about herO in the other two matchups, especially where his micro plays a bigger role. Obviously, there's a lot of micro in PvZ as well, but I kind of feel like, you know, the styles, the metagame shifts that we're seeing, like aggressive Zerg should work pretty well, but also, yeah, herO should be a little bit aggressive. The thing is, as long as Solar doesn't like throw it attacking into him, I'm picking Solar for this. But we are starting the game now. Down here in the bottom left, we have herO.
And spawning in the top left, representing Team Falcons, the blue Zerg, he is Solar.
And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series.
In the meta, that is when herO shines the most.
Like, it's been that way. There's been this rotation of it.
Oh,
for, like,
let's
the
go.
Past, like 8 years or so, where when...
Are we going proxy Stargate?
Like a one-base oracle.
2-gate opener.
But, yeah,
2-gate opener back at home. Proxy across the map. herO, he's crazy. He's cheesing.
The metagame gets good for Protoss. That's because defensive
Stop freaking out. He's
and
crazy.
That's when he normally falls, right?
He's staying on one base. One base all in.
Never turns it off, and you can see that here.
Yeah, complete wall off at the natural. 2 gateways and a Cybernetic squad. The ramp to the natural, I should say, is we're going to have some one-base play here in PvZ. You don't see this all that
Again,
often.
based on its location, it's either a proxy Robo for Prism or a proxy Stargate for the Oracle, or even the Void Ray, but I'm leaning more towards Oracle here.
Stargate, but
yeah. I would be shocked if this wasn't a proxy Stargate.
It should be Stargate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could send this up there and make like a gateway or something, or
like a Robo maybe.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about Robo here that doesn't click in my head. I do think it's going to be the Stargate, but we'll see in a second.
There it is.
And the Stargate does get started. The Overlord flying in and seeing double gateway.
Yeah, and Solar's probably scratching his head because
Solar, now you know something's wrong.
Never see this in the current meta of PvZ. I feel like this is kind of a blast from the past. Like I'm ready for some shield batteries to get thrown down here for a Void Ray push or something.
Oh my gosh, that would be...
So Solar, he pulls out a gas, is getting link speed. You can see he's fanning out. He's searching for the proxy. He knows something's wrong.
But I mean, again, with a full wall in, I feel like it can't be Oracle.
Could it be a
right?
Tempest?
Wait, do you get to build the Nexus and energy recharge Oracles in the front line?
Oh, he's crazy.
What this is?
Maybe.
Let's go.
Oh, herO has cooked up something dirty here for game one.
Is there any way this could be a Tempest build? No. Okay, Oracle to open.
Do we go
Energy
Oracle into
recharge
Fleet
on the
Beacon,
front line.
into Shield Battery with
He
Tempest?
could even continue building probes if he wanted to and recall them to that base.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so
some
cool.
Potential there. Yeah, this is really weird. This is like some SOS level stuff. And to be fair, SOS 2-time world champ. Like,
yeah, there is. He's running the
He
Tempest.
called it. Look at
Let's
that
go.
going down.
Well,
oh, this is so cool.
Proxy
herO right now coming
Tempest.
into the main base. Evolution Chamber is thrown down, so no drone's going to fall.
Send it, Pappy. Send it.
Right. I actually, this is super cool. Okay, so he flies in with the Oracle and actually doesn't really turn it on. Takes quite a bit of damage there, and he will get like a little bit of damage, kind of keeping him on the back foot. Right, shield battery goes down here.
Where are the adepts?
This isn't very good. I'm a little bit nervous for him right now. He needs to get this Oracle over here.
It's got 40 energy,
Yeah,
so
not
it
very
can
much.
be used for a bit. That Nexus is finishing up, so energy recharge is going to be on the table. The Fleet Beacon also proxied here, by the way. So Solar knows immediately what is up.
Does
we have
hold.
a
There we go.
recall. Is
There's a
that gonna be the
recall.
probes? It is.
Oh, dude, I love it. I absolutely love it. Next level proxy. All right, turns on that Oracle after charging it up, and we'll be able to clear these lings.
Yeah, nice defense. So it
How
is
do you deal with
Tempest.
this in theory as Solar? Like, probably Queens non-stop, and... Wait, he's walking the Queens down?
Oh my god, he's being hyper aggressive.
It's a queen walk, man. He did this to take down Zound.
I like this if he can get on top of the natural before the Tempest comes out, but the Tempest is almost done.
The shield battery not yet done. Warp gate, by the way, was delayed during all of this for the Stargate, for the fleet beacon. No
Can he break
units being
through?
warped in. I don't know if hero's gonna be able to hold on.
He's breaking
yeah,
through.
This is looking pretty decent right now.
He's
with all
doing
these
it.
Zerglings coming in and going after the probes.
The
really
Oracle-
hurting his economy. Here
Oh my
come
God.
those Queens now. Trying to go after that Oracle. The Oracle's super, super low at the moment. Does get pulled back.
Does
He's
get a queen.
microing very well. I love that he made a little building wall here to kind of slow it
Yeah,
down.
but he
as
will get
well,
the
but
base.
more
He
lanes
should get the
coming out.
expansion.
Yeah, then Nexus most likely going to be going down. The Tempest just slowly chipping away at these Queens. Eventually, that Oracle's going to be able to get something done if it can recharge its energy. But with the Nexus going down, it does complicate things quite a bit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. If
I
you
think Solo
lose that
holds.
pylon, man, and you don't get a second Tempest out here and you don't get the upgrade, this is looking grim right now for here. It looks like
Well, the
he will
upgrade is
able
gonna be
to finish
denied.
this Tempest, so the second one comes out.
What a bizarre opening here by herO. Twilight Council coming
There's
in.
nothing
back
in
at
hope. There's
home.
no warp
Still
gate.
No warp
No
gate done.
shot. Solar.
Twilight
He
Council.
shuts
What
us
are we
down. He's
doing
popping
with
over
the
across the
Twilight
map, and he will
Council
break
here?
through.
I don't even know if herO knows what he's doing
Or
right
will
now.
he?
Twilight
Yeah.
Council, to be completely honest with you.
Kill the spores with the Tempest and you warp in the DT. Let's go.
I mean, it's the best sounding strat I have for this situation. This is
you
kind
gotta
of
do
crazy.
something wild, right? Like this is not looking very good.
Yeah, the Oracle defends,
the Oracle
Twilight
back
Council,
at home to
Glaive
clear
it
out
up.
some of those lings. The Queens obviously coming
One
forward and
base
trying to put some
Glaives.
damage on. No shield batteries to heal these up on.
It's still only 29
See,
drones.
this is StarCraft. Okay, none of this like classic versus Cyril, 45-minute game. No. On Persephone.
For Zerg, the Tempest are getting a lot of damage done.
We want ninja-based proxy Tempest into one-base Glaive Adepts. This is StarCraft.
I'm wondering, with that gas coming in, if we get
Cyril and Classic, take
Spire,
notes.
even the Lings are almost taunting the Oracle here. It can barely get anything done against that number.
So yeah, we'll teach him how to play some
Tempest are actually
StarCraft.
doing so much
We'll get
work
herO
right now
and
for
Solar to
herO.
teach him.
This is kind of crazy to watch because like when you lose all your proxy stuff and you don't even get like the damage upgrade, I mean you got to look at it and say, okay, this is very, very bad. And then the
You're a high
Tempest
heart rate.
is
I don't
doing
get it.
so
Well,
much
right
work. Obviously,
now,
that Oracle defending
there's
him
no
at
reason
home
for the heart rate to be
forever.
up.
It's
Like
been wild.
things are looking bleak.
Yeah,
Like
but one of those Tempests, it looks like it's just barely going to go down. No, the Queen can't get the final hit off. 3 HP Tempest. The power level of 2 Tempest versus 1 is
this is looking really rough for herO. Like there's, I don't know if there's much excitement going on right now, but I appreciate the build nonetheless.
It's more than double.
I mean, he's considering to chip away. The supplies somehow are equalizing. Glaives nearing
That's a lot
completion
of
right now.
queens.
I wonder how many gateways do we actually have behind this?
I think he has 4.
We're gonna have 4 gate
Okay,
glaives.
4 gates.
So 4 gate Glaives. He's still microing the Tempest like his life is on the line, which in a way it is. It is ridiculous how much he's doing with these Tempests, by the way.
Yeah, he's getting damage done. Gets a
Solar, by the
queen.
way, was going for a Hydralisk then. I think that got canceled in favor of
did it get
Rotorn and
canceled?
Aspire because I believe he's
Okay.
afraid of Glaives. I think he can see basically everything with those things on the
yeah,
front.
that makes sense. That makes
Adepts,
sense.
they're busting
oh my
in.
gosh, and the Glaive Adepts
Where's the
come up,
support?
starting
Where are the
to target down
roaches?
some of these queens.
He's going for the queens.
Oh my gosh, that Tempest
Ah.
gets so low once again. The Lings
Oh my
coming up
God.
to try to deal with these Adepts, but of course, with the Glaives,
The
they can do a
Tempest.
great job.
Yeah, the Glaive Adepts now going into the third
Tempest
base
is
here.
so low.
Sword.
One Tempest
of the
goes down.
Will fall finally does get taken out. Roaches are joining
One
the fray
Tempest left.
here. Mineral line, it does get evacuated. Not a lot of workers going down. I feel like this is starting to peter out a little bit here for herO. 2 more gateways coming online. Are we going to have 6 gateways on one base here for Protoss? What is this game?
Yeah, well, he does have 23 probes, so no issues there.
Ah, he
man.
gets
He's
the
gonna be able
Tempest.
to
There
make
we
a
go. Final
lot
Tempest
of Adepts.
falls.
Finally, the second
Adepts are getting
Tempest
damage
ends
done.
up going
Okay.
down. The Spire is up, so at this point, like
10
any
drones.
amount of Mutalisks can, force a lot of defensive warp-ins of Stalkers and whatnot.
But how many mutas can you make on 19 drones? This is such an insane situation right now. I mean, the answer is literally
Yeah.
1.
Well, he could make a second one, actually, and he does. So, see, I have this little trick as a longtime caster where when you ask how many mutas he can make, I look at the gas and minerals.
Yeah, that's 3 now. That's good.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
look
going to
at
steal
this.
that for my next
It's
GSL
very,
cast.
dude, it's very steady Mutalisk production here. Yeah, but there's really no anti-air at home, right? Like, I guess you can make like a battery or something. You're trying to kill him with these Adepts. Obviously, there's a lot of roaches here, so I don't think the Adepts can do much as long as he sits back somewhat defensively.
herO still on 1 base back at home. I think still fully walled in at that natural
Yeah,
ramp.
coming into this game state, I mean, herO, he can maybe kill an expansion, but I mean, the mutas are revealed. We get the zoom in on hero's face.
Really, the options here as Protoss are very limited. Some Stalkers are going to get warped in. It's basically
The
a 1
trumpet's
base
called
eco
the
versus a
Tempest.
1 base
True,
eco
true.
because Solar is hardly mining from any of these expansions.
But definitely, you know, he can always
Yeah,
start
GG.
mining.
GG
is
gets
called.
called.
And Solar takes a crazy game number 1.
Yeah, Solo with a really, really nice reaction. He scattered, he shut it down. Like this, as fun as this game was, like it was shut down really early on. That's why I don't really agree with the comment in the chat. Entire world is on fire. herO, he's like, this is fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure his heart sank at the beginning of the game. Like with the death of the Nexus, with the death of the proxy, like things were looking really, really rough there. So. Yeah, it was a rough follow-up, rough execution. Had a lot of potential, of course, but Solar, he was so quick to get on top of the proxy, so quick to scout it, to shut it down, and to deal with it. GG. GG.
Damage done. If he was just able to keep that Nexus alive, say the first shield battery doesn't get canceled.
Yeah.
Maybe then he's able to build some momentum. The Queen Walk, if we had 2
Solar
Oracles
takes the
for it
lead.
with the shield battery, I feel like he's probably safe.
Yeah.
One of the most creative builds I have seen a player deploy here at EWC, which is saying a lot because nobody is holding back.
That was such a cool.
See the heart
build
rate
from herO.
didn't crest 100. Solar's heart rate showed up
but
to
he does
130.
lose the
Yeah, but
map.
that makes sense. Like
And
that.
Solar leads 1-0.
Like
This is a
Solo, he
best
was
of
more
5,
excited,
so
more
You're
uncertain.
going to want to pick a game up here pretty quickly.
Game 2 going to be loading up.
herO was
in a moment.
smurging. He was smurging.
I'm imagining we're going to see a little bit more standard play coming in from herO, but he absolutely cooked in prep.
Here we go. Getting to our
I'm
next
still
game.
just completely smitten by that build. That is
Yes.
something that I'm gonna be thinking about the entire flight back to Korea. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna get home and fire up a game on the ladder
Yeah.
and lose in an even more embarrassing fashion. Anyway, spawning here in the top left, deployed one of the coolest builds we've seen at EWC. Let's see if he can come back here in game number 2. It is herO.
His opponent shutting down the cheese in game number 1. It's Solar.
Okay.
Fleet Beacon.
After having a crazy game 1, we're calming down. This time, we do have a standard opener out of herO, hatch gas pool out of Solar, where we're done with the craziness, at least for now. And I'm curious to see how herO has been adjusting in his play during his downtime.
I mean, you can't keep doing 1 base
During his
builds.
time away
That's-
from StarCraft, or
I
during his
can't
time away from
imagine, you know, he
the
can't
public
have
eye.
a better 1 base
Public
build than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It's not like
perfect.
you use your second best 1 base build in game number 1 and your best in game number 2. That's not a thing, right? Like, they're already going to be more on the defensive looking for that.
All right, well, game number 2 here on Incorporeal. herO going forward to the standard 20 Nexus expansion. Likely going to be more of the tried and true Stargate play coming out from him. I'm curious to see, 'cause I think this is the first PvZ, maybe even the first game that I've casted from herO so far in the CWC, how he's going to be approaching this matchup, because one of the things that was very curious to me is that both Zaun and Classic kind of switched up the way they were approaching Stargate PvZ in preparation for EWC. They were opening with Phoenix out of the Stargate before those Oracles, which obviously when you're playing series with this much on the line and you're not holding back in terms of builds, you want to keep your opponent in the dark as much as possible. But
Yeah.
you know, herO's been one of these guys that has thrown caution to the wind for so long and to such a degree that I'm not even sure if he's worried about his opponent knowing what's coming. I mean, look back at game number 1. He could have built that fleet beacon in his base if he wanted to. He
that's
just
very
didn't.
true.
He used it to wall in the pylon of the Stargate. Like, come on.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's an interesting thing that State brings up, I suppose, in regards to the frequency of Phoenix openers that we've seen from Zan and Classic. I think that's true. I think that's a good observation. As I was kind of alluding to, I don't know if heroes really want to really do that. We have seen him mix in Phoenix or Voider openers every now and then, but I don't think we're going to be seeing it anywhere near as frequently. But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, there's value in opening up double and triple Oracle when it comes to gaining map control, when it comes to preserving your bases and shutting down Ling aggression.
And then you get, you know,
especially if you're relieved your opponent's going for an all-in.
There isn't really a weakness there, but everyone else, you know, their strength is their weakness.
Solar opting to go for that Oracle first, following up with Stalker. Actually, a little bit interesting there. Usually see a lot more adept play here as Solar with that Overlord able to scout basically everything. One of these drones going to get caught, making the transition over to that third base. One of the benefits of the overly probe scout that herO had is that he's able to push that natural expansion or the second expansion all the way over to that 7 o'clock position. And we'll see what he's able to get done with these Oracles.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so far it's a standard opener here out of herO, just going for an Oracle into a third base. Our eyes are going to be on herO when it comes to the timing of his Twilight Council, the timing of his Forge as well, so we'll see if he does have any kind of big deviation. If you remember, in the lead up to this series, we spoke about how we expect all-ins out of Solar, and I'm still stand by that as well. Typically, Solar goes for 3-base all-ins, where he drones up to 3-base saturation, gets a 4th base just for Larva, and then commits, so we'll keep an eye on Solar's worker count and his saturation.
Somehow he actually got 16 drones over to the third base. I don't know when that happened, but in any case, it's actually herO going up to 4 gases relatively quickly here with that Forge, with the Twilight Council. So it's like we're going to have Blink +1 play coming in from him.
Yeah, really does look that way. I do wonder when Solar is going to turn on the unit production. Because that's the thing about Solar, like, because he is kind of a more aggressive Zerg in general, I always feel like a player like herO is going to have a hard time, because herO's style, I think, is best at catching like optimizer Zergs that are trying to squeeze out every drone and go towards Hive. Whereas a player like Solar, actually, you spoke really well about Solar in the past like that as well.
This is looking like it might be a queen drop over the third base. And I know I'm calling that very early, but he stopped at exactly the same number of drones versus Zaun, 53. The lair timing very similar. Okay, he is queuing a couple more up. But with that extra gas, with a Roach Warren coming in, there is a lot of aggressive potential here for Solar. We have to keep our eyes on whether or not...
Yeah, what State is getting at here, a lot of it is kind of dictated on whether or not he does actually invest into Roach production. He has the Roach Warren for safety, he's taking a lot of gases. I'm leaning more towards Ling Hydra. It's going to be a later Eva Chamber. Because Eva Chamber is so late, there's a higher chance it's going to be +1 range, not +1 melee, into a heavy Hydra composition. I don't really see him going too heavily into Roaches, but we'll keep an eye on his production.
He does start warping a few in, still going around with those Oracles a little bit, keeping tabs on how quick all the bases are and everything like that.
Yeah, and he's just developing quite rapidly back up at home. Wondering whether he's going to be taking that 5th and 6th gas soon as the Templar Archives does come online. And with these Oracles, he's getting a lot of scouting information about exactly where Solar is.
Yeah, so far just really standard play out of herO.
It's kind of a tricky proposition.
Blink in towards eventually
like
splash damage.
herO being such an aggressive player and Solar also being so aggressive in this matchup, because there's a little bit of a question of who's going to attack first, and you don't usually say that in a herO game.
Yeah.
I really want to see what the upgrade is for the Eva Chamber.
I think, like, not attacking first is the right way to do it. It's like, make your units, right? Don't just keep expanding because you know that your aggression might not work.
We're seeing this with such limited information.
Because if they attack, and you're
I'm still trying to get a read here. Solar does take his gases at his third.
You kind of like, you don't pull the trigger too quickly.
Which I didn't see saturation.
You're going to be in a good spot.
I think it's no drones yet. Why we see Solar opting for a little bit
is.
More
He's going for the all-in. Let's go
for Overlord speed, but I feel like the timing window has passed. Where if he
he's going for it.
Although I say that, and we have an Overlord morphing in.
Yeah,
right
again,
now.
like you don't go for Overlord speed unless you're going for the all-in. So he's going for the Drop Lord all-in, Queens and Roaches. Let's go.
Down, but still, there's
0 upgrades on the Eva Chamber. It was a fake. Okay.
Well,
what's the fake out?
Those tagged queens up all the way into that front.
So basically, this is a lair-based all-in. No Hydras, no upgrades, nothing on the Eva Chamber, just purely Ling, Roach Queen, and Ravager.
Yeah. I am honestly a little bit thrown off by this timing. I wonder if herO is going to be 2. You kind of
he already scattered it. Like herO knows.
But Storm is going to be done by the time this one hits Artosis.
Yeah, which makes me think it's not destined to end up working out. Like if your opponent has a few defensive storms here, a few shield batteries, you know, the Blink Stalkers get home. It seems like something like this would be very difficult to pull off, but here he comes in here with those roaches, drops the queens out immediately here, pushing the oracles
Some
back.
OK Storms.
Yeah, Storm's not really getting too much done because it's heavily on the Ravagers on the right side, of course, with their large
Roaches
size.
are busting into the natural there.
He's
breaking in.
Coming through now. Solar breaching
Getting
into
some of the
natural
Stalkers.
expansion, getting a lot of damage done there. Shield battery going to be charging up those zealots as they warp in, and man, this push is absolutely working. It hit later than the same timing attack he used versus
He does it. He breaks through.
Storm was done, but Solar
Wow.
hardly cares.
Yeah, this is a little bit rough right now here.
Yeah, with that, we get some storms on the Zerglings. The Solar, he's already broken into natural. He's broken into naturals, pushing in towards that third base as well. We have a desperation warp in towards the end here, trying to hold on, but the natural is broken. We're getting into the robo, and Solar, he is running away with this.
Stalkers, two
He's
Archons.
sending it.
Solar just waiting for these reinforcements to come across map. Now here they are on the creep. And he is inching
And again, we expected all-ins out of Solar here. He was not ready for this specific roach-based all-in.
Guys are on the left side. It's hard for them to find a good angle onto those roaches. Yes, we do have a shield battery, but for now it's out of energy. And Artosis, I think that Solar's doing this, man.
Looks like it. He warps in some more zealots here, but there's just so many roaches and ravagers. The creep being spread over in hero's base. 20 probes have fallen right now, and Solar is very close to picking up a 2-0 lead.
herO, try as he might with his small number of stalkers, Micro can only give you so much as GG is called. And for herO now, it's going to take a miracle. You need a reverse sweep against a Solar who is looking so locked in ZVP.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about this current game state here is that it's been such a short series. It feels like we just started. I feel feels like we just got out of breakback. We just got out. But again, game one, it was a really cheeky, really quirky build. It fell on its face, and with that, herO already on the back foot. Here coming into Incorporeal, we have our 3-base win out of Solar. I was leaning more towards something more Hydra based, but as we saw, he committed into Roach production, into a Roach drop across the map, and this is designed to punish something like a Storm follow-up. Again, Storms, they can connect, and they did connect with Ravagers, but they tickle Roach Ravagers. They're more ideal against Ling Hydra. Against Roach Ravager based all-ins, that is where Storm does struggle the most, and that is where herO was not quite ready. He wasn't set up. GG well played.
A little bit spread thin in that window there is herO. Solar exposing that weakness, really pulling him apart, and now just one map win away from a berth in the round of 4.
So a really good read here out of Solar, a really solid build of choice as well. And I can't quite recall the vetoes, but oh, okay, we're loading into Maganatha.
Just a moment.
They're not taking any breaks. They're just getting right back into
Jumping right in.
I thought for a moment, I was wondering, you know, is herO going to ask for just 1 or 2 minutes to try and reset himself?
I would pretend that I have to go to the bathroom right now, try to reset.
I literally made a new pot of tea and it's not even cold enough to drink. Again, it's been really short. It's been really short.
At EWC, nothing but elimination matches coming your way today. As spawning here in the bottom right, he needs your energy if you want him to come back in this series. Down 0-2, it is the Protoss legend himself, herO.
And his opponent in the top left with a quick 2-0 lead. It's Solar.
What is happening here? First Mara, now herO. I mean, as we said at least, as we tried to clarify, like Cure was favored against Mara, at least in my eyes. Here, I would say that hero's played against Solar, but if you remember, I did say something at the start of the series that kind of leans towards this as well. Is herO versus Rogue. If you remember, herO versus Rogue GSL, the reason why we brought it up is because what happened in GSL Season 2, if you were watching, we casted it here on the channel, Rogue also cheesed the hell out of herO. He did nothing but all-ins and he knocked herO out of GSL. But that's also why I was posing the question, how has herO been preparing? How has he been adapting, changing, and trying to adjust his own play in that period between GSL and now? Just because we've been seeing a lot less from herO as of late. I feel like we haven't really been able to see that though. Like we haven't gotten into our games.
Of course, Solar did have a very close series with
herO hasn't had the opportunity to really show off what he's made of, not yet.
Either of those are just going to be really a gargantuan task.
Meanwhile, we're expecting another all-in out of Solar. Again, if you know anything about Solar's ZVP, we've been talking about it. He has been going for purely all-ins, like hyper-aggression.
He's choosing the right time to turn it on. There's no question.
Not necessarily the same kind of all-ins or the same build.
Your life is on the line.
There are different variations he goes for.
Aggressive Zerg. You yourself are an aggressive Protoss player. What do you do? Where do you go with your build? Do you play a really defensive classic-esque game? Do you try another attack? Do you do something funky?
I mean, just like you said, his strength is his weakness too, right? It's hard for herO to turn it off. I think we're going to see more of the same.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see pretty much the same development that we saw from
I
herO
agree
in
with
game
State
number
there.
2 and game number 3. Should he decide to take that third base and go for the macro game?
Like, I think the best approach against Solar and where Solar struggles is defensive Protoss players, but I don't know if herO is really the kind of player to play very safe and very standard and very
delaying
defensive.
Storm, adding in 1 or 2 extra oracles, making a ton more Blink Stalkers than just slowly teching into Storm being a way of just kind of stabilizing and normalizing in the mid game. Is it a little bit suboptimal in theory? Yes, but if a timing attack like that one that Solar did comes into, say, 7 gateways of +1 Blink Stalkers in mass, with the Templar Archives coming in a little bit later, the gas income coming in a little bit later, so the army's a bit beefier. I like herO in that situation.
I 100% agree with you. Very, very well said there, State. It's, you know, sometimes people rely too much on the theory or what's optimal and that type of thing, where it's like, you can turn that stuff on its head. You know, you really can. You make this little risk, and it can turn into a game win very quickly.
Of course, we'll have to wait and see exactly what it is herO is going to do. As I've said many times before, this is my favorite shot that we've had so far at the EWC. Just being able to see both players, their perspectives, their expressions as they navigate some of the most important games of their lives.
It's got my grandma's keyboard there with all the big capital letters. Love to see it.
Look at that. You see some players, they play with no keycaps at all, or you can't read them, but herO's the opposite. Not only does he have the big glasses, but when he takes them off, he needs the extremely large keys. That's great.
To be fair, herO cheese first. Don't blame Solar for counter cheesing. Solar, I wouldn't say the counter cheese just because I think he was going to do that anyway. Like, it's just how he plays.
Base, of course, is going up right now for herO. Making an additional Oracle.
But welcome to Maganatha. Maganatha is a larger map in the map pool. All-ins are less favored on this map, so I do lean towards herO in his ability to get into a longer game, but we'll see. Faster Eva Chamber. Faster +1 melee this time. Because of the Eva Chamber, because of what I'm assuming is +1 melee, this, instead of going into Roaches, this looks like Ling Hydra.
The gateway units pre-storm here in this match.
Yeah, the Storm Rush has been pretty trendy, you know. Definitely we've seen a lot of Protosses going for that.
Yeah, there's melee, so this should be Ling Hydra.
He's adding in this probe in the wall.
Yeah.
So often he doesn't do this. And the run bys have just been so detrimental, but I think even herO, it's like, okay,
because Solar's not going into Roaches, I like the idea of herO rushing into Storm earlier this time.
Stayed up these 5 adepts onto the high ground. I think from this high ground, they might be able to barely hit some of those drones on the low ground. I'm not quite sure, but in any case, he is now heading into this main mineral line, going to get at least 2 drones. Third one going to fall. Can he get a 4th? Yes. No Spine Crawler or Spore Crawler thrown down from that. As now these Oracles are going to be looking for some damage here. The natural expansion. No Spore Crawler. So he's able to catch a queen.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get the drone counts I'd like to have seen, but I do like the queen pick off there. A couple more gates on the way back at home during all of this as well.
I would love to see him double at the back and also take down that creep timber, and indeed he does. Just make that queen loss a little bit more painful in terms of energy right there for Solar, as we have extra gateways coming in, and he cancels Blink and goes Glaives.
Oh, wow.
He canceled.
That was scary. Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously was. Glaives, though, you're right. Glaives on the way, so definitely a very aggressive game still coming out of herO. Has plenty of adepts there, and when I see that many adepts, I'm like, what are we looking at? And a Baneling Nest gets started. Perfect here from Solar.
I think it's a very smart move from Solar. He saw those adepts
really good
in at the natural expansion from herO, and in kind of a reflexive moment, you might see that as like, oh, okay, well, he's really worried about these Lings getting into my natural.
So what they're getting at here is that often you skip Banelings. You skip the Baneling Nest, you go purely Ling Hydra. The Baneling Nest is a reaction to seeing all those adepts, so Solar, he will have the tools to defend.
It's going to be Glaives, but you can expect a lot of adepts coming to your side of the map in the next couple of minutes.
Well, I think with the Baneling Nest, he should have a good chance of holding it off. You know, we've seen that a lot where the shades start to go in, the Banelings start to fall, and you're like, well, I have to cancel. Like, I'm not going to throw these away. But here they come, and the Banelings are not ready as of yet.
True, he hasn't morphed them in. He hasn't seen the move outs.
Banelings now morphing in. Actually make that 10. Double digits here for Solar as the first shade is going to position These Adepts right at the junction between
And
the
here
second,
he has
third,
to
and
get damage
fourth
with
base.
this.
He's going to shade now into the natural expansion towards that main base ramp. He
Shades into
sees
the main.
the Banelings. He cancels that. Glaives is done. Evolution Chamber does get thrown down here to kind of block the path at this third base. How many workers are actually going to go down?
Yeah, hard to say. Now, he is setting that shade, which of course he does have to cancel, so he's going to back off. Only a couple drones killed so far. Storm, Blink, Armor, Second Forge, all in the way here for herO.
Yeah, I like this transition coming in right now. Also being very safe with these shades in. Cancels them the third. The moment he sees those Banelings, these Adepts, they do get caught out here on the fourth, but honestly, I don't mind it too much. He's buying time to get Storm back at home, and he's also creating an opening here. Shade does get canceled. 3 more drones going down. Recall's going to connect, I think, before the Banelings can find a good connection. Yeah, Solar could have used a couple of them there, but I think he wanted the big kills, not just damage.
Okay, I feel like he should have maybe. I think he could have gotten 2 hits, which would have damaged like 4 of them and killed 1. So I would have preferred that, but okay, save those for now. He is going for like a Hydra Ling Bane at the moment. It's going to take a minute because we don't have Baneling speed yet. But again, kind of a trendy play. We've seen it from Rogue. We've seen it from serO so far.
So we're in a kind of an interesting kind of game state here. On the one hand, herO, he didn't do any game-winning damage with the Adepts. He got some drone kills, but remember, this delays Storm, this delays the upgrades, it delays Blink. A lot of the tech is delayed here for herO. And now the ball is in Solar's court. What does he go for? He's droning. He isn't taking up yet. He is getting up to around 80 workers. He's focusing on Ling Bane Hydra. He has no Hive, and if we don't start working towards an infestation bit soon, he may just max out on Ling Bane Hydra.
Shading around, clearing out a few Lings on the map. The triple Oracle going to hit this base, and yeah, it does force that cancel. Very, very nice. Baneling's coming up to chase them away, I guess. They will tag it and just kind of rotate through. He's done a really good job to keep these alive. He hasn't gotten as much damage
I don't see any tech.
He might with some of these early attacks and getting the clean
Yeah,
and
he's
everything,
maxing.
but still, just keeping them alive.
So this is going to be a 3-base all-in here from Solar. He's like, I say all-in. He's droning up to 76, but he's not taking into an infestation, not taking into Hive, not taking into Workers. It's purely a max out on Ling Bane Hydra. It's like a layer-based all-in. Maybe that's a better way of phrasing it instead. And the goal here is to break herO.
Down shield batteries as well, as the attack is about to commence. Templars, I think, are closer to the natural expansion right now. Baneling's actually coming in to the third base, while Solar hits the fourth simultaneously. 11 workers going down here.
Not bad.
This Nexus likely going to be canceled.
Oh man, that is a lot of Hydralisks right there. herO in a bit of trouble. He comes down. He does have a lot of Psystorm. So he forces this back, but it did get canceled.
Behind this, Solar's still not taking. Still not taking, still not droning, he's still all in.
45 supply lead.
Yeah, and I think for Solar, mission accomplished right there. You took down double-digit workers at that third base. You got to cancel on the fourth Nexus, which herO, by the way, still has not remade. Instead, he is going
Can he get on top of the High Templar?
Gas, no brakes, just pushing in to the side of the map of Solar. A really ambitious move, and actually, there are stasis traps in position. Solar identifies them. All the traps are defused, and now the attack commencing here.
A lot of Psystorms going down as the Zerglings charge in
he
here.
wants High Templar.
The
He gets
Hydra's
them.
just trying to move through and target down some High
2,
Templars.
1,
A ridiculous
0.
surround comes
That's
up
it.
here from Solar.
0 storms.
And the Stalkers just barely not caught in the center.
Oh, that surround was perfectly by the book. 360 degrees for Solar with Hydra Ling Bane coming in.
And that's it. That was every High Templar going down. 0 storms.
Momentarily, but there's no fourth base to fall back to. He retreats to the stasis trap, but it only catches 4 Lings.
Solar's not stopping.
Templars
Like
have
he's
been
still just
reset
rallying
down to
pure Ling
0.
Hydra.
This is looking really good for Solar right now. The fact that he's up on 5 bases, getting some drones up to that top right base. He's crushed a lot of the High Templars that were in the army. So what does herO
And again, the Glaive Up build wasn't worth it. It didn't do enough damage. Didn't kill enough across the map. herO heals on the back foot, stuck at
For the
home.
next attack. But this is looking grim for herO.
Oh, he's sitting at only 3 bases right now as Solar continues to push in. 5 bases and 77
Again,
drone
who
economy
needs a
behind
Hive? Who
this
needs
push.
lurkers? Who needs any of that? Just Ling Bane
standing
Hydra
as strong as they
back.
possibly can, but they're also forming
Just
a trap
layer
here for the
tech.
Templar, who have to morph into an Archon. No storms left here for herO and Solar. Are you going to 3-0? One of the Protoss favorites here in EWC.
Yeah, it really does look that way right now. The Hydras continue to rally down. You can see the look on herO's face as he micros as best he can, but with so few units, micro is not what's going to end up making the difference. These Hydras in a concave around his third base. Solar knows he's got this game. herO with his final warpins coming up, but I think we're about to see
Let's
a GG.
go.
Third base goes down.
Solar
with a look of
GG.
satisfaction as GG is called. And Team Falcons is going to be represented by Solar in the round of 4, trouncing herO in a 3-0 win.
Just beautiful play there from Solar, showing that his aggressive style can absolutely match up favorably against herO. You know, I love some of the plays that herO brought to us, you know, not just today, but in the past year. Unfortunately, he is not going to get that top 4. He is not going to be the Protoss champion that we've been looking for.
He said in many interviews leading into this EWC that now is the time, not just for him, but for Protoss as a whole.
I think I'm a little bit dissatisfied because, as I was mentioning, herO, he was intentionally hiding a lot of his play, hiding a lot of his builds for this tournament, and I don't think I got to see any of it. Like, I didn't, we never really got to experience what it was that herO had to offer outside of Game 1. Like, Game 1 was crazy, and it does feel like maybe that's one of those builds that he was working on, but I feel like Game 1 was also maybe a bit of a tell of things to come. Like, momentum did fall heavily in favor of Solar from there, and to lose a map in a best of 5 like that was brutal, already putting herO on the back foot, and he never got into his game. Like, I'll be honest, like, in this series we never really got to see what herO was made of. GG. GG.
Top 4, you will be there in the finals. Well, the semifinals, that's for sure.
Like,
Congratulations.
herO not to get, he never got to play any StarCraft.
Game number 1. What was that? What was going on? What happened?
Yeah, I was pretty confused because it's like never used strategy, so it's repair on burst. But like, I played it when I was in the other team. When I played Team League, I played against this build, so I know how to defend it. Just kill the Nexus and just not letting Protoss have more Tempest. So yeah, so my experience worked. Yeah.
Yeah, your experience definitely shined there, and it definitely helped you out in the first game. Now, I want to ask you, historically, I want to say over the past 4 or 5 times that you have met herO, the record hasn't been in your favor, and finally you managed to break it, and especially here at EWC, and getting yourself into the top 4. What was the preparation that you did coming into this series?
You know, when I was Korea, I know I'm very bad against Protoss. Also, herO is really the best Protoss as well, yeah, you know, as you know. So I know he's really good, so when I'm in Korea, I practice a lot in PvZs. Like, even though I lose, I try to find answer myself, like, in my way, like, not like herO, like Reynor, just like Solar. So I find how to play against Protoss. So I was pretty confident, so that's the Solar way.
Yeah, that is the Solar way. And when it came to that third game, you canceled his 4th, and I want to ask you, were you expecting the counter in that situation?
Yeah, actually, like, his early game was not good, so after that, I got the defense against Glaive's Adepts, so I already know I was pretty ahead, so I think game was almost over, but I just a bit using a lot micro and macro, yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, you managed to get a clean 3-0 sweep. Congratulations, and thank you very much for joining us, Solar. Boys and girls, the first 3-0 of the day, a sensational way to end our 5th game. We still have one more series to wrap up our 3rd day of competition for StarCraft here at the Esports World Cup. Let's head on over to the studio.
To the casters. Oh, sorry, to the casting couch. GG. But again, yeah, my heart goes out to herO. I feel like he just didn't really get to show off his play here. He was denied that. We expected that out of Solar, though, in the sense that if you remember, we were kind of harping on it. Even the other casters, they were aware of it as well. Like, Solar is very cheesy and very aggressive in ZVP. That's just how he always plays, or how he has been playing it over the past year, over the past maybe like 9 months or so. We had more expectations for herO, I should say, but here he was called out. Here on Incorporeal, he was being greedy, going into Storm up against a Roach all-in, not a Ling Hydra all-in, and here in game number 3, we had herO going into Glaive Adepts, where as Solar stated himself, like, the Glaives did not do enough damage. Solar fell, or herO fell behind after the failed Glaive Adept aggression. Solar took a lead and snowballed from there. GG. GG.
This guy who was able to get into Zerg's face and kind of break them and punish them if they were very growth focused. Now we're really in the era of players like Classic, where Classic kind of stays back. He's almost like a Zerg himself. He's that macro, growth-oriented Protoss. It just kind of wants, yeah, very stats-like, very much like the old Rain when he was playing StarCraft 2 before he switched to StarCraft 1.
They have a lot of expectations.
And,
well, I mean, again, it's one of those things where
almost symbolic of
expectations, but it's not like herO played poorly. He just never got into his games. Some rough decision making, maybe some rough decision making going into Glaives or in game 2, misreading and assuming that Solo was going to play Ling Hydra, like winding it back again. That was everything that he was expecting in Incorporeal. Was what we saw in game number 3 from Solo. He was expecting Ling Hydra, not a Roachwall win, which is what shut him down.
Those weak spots, those weak components, and he did run rings around herO in this series.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, oftentimes I feel like Solar does get overshadowed a little bit. This has been the case for years, where everybody's always talking about those other Zergs, like, for example, herO, like, for example, Rain, or Dark before he went off to the military. But Solar has always quietly been there, right? Like, he's always been one of the very best players in the world, and
we got
it's
next
nice
set.
to see him perform at this level now.
Clement Classic.
Well, we have one more round of 8 match left here, and
the
it's an
double
important
Protoss.
one because
Let's
either
go.
we get our current reigning defending world champion into the round of 4, or we get our last remaining Protoss able to get himself to the top 4 as well. Join us right after this. It's an important one. It's Classic versus Clem.
This is going to be an interesting one. Now that hero's been dealt with, I do think that herO was the biggest threat to Clem. Now that hero's out, I do think that Clem is going to have a much clearer road to those finals. Clem is going to be going against Classic. I do think that Classic, actually, I was going to say that I think Classic has the best shot against Clem. I think I want to walk that back actually. Solar, he has been studying a lot, and he's been playing a lot of Ling into Ultra and Ling Roach into Ultra as well. So we'll get into that potentially later on. But yeah, Classic versus Clem, final series of the broadcast. It's going to be an interesting one here. Classic, his PvZ is by no longer as weak, but it is a little bit more unique in that sense. We'll get into it, but similarly to how he approaches PvZ, Classic, he very often does go to the late game. He very often does play things out, and if he ever sees an opportunity, he will go into Stargate, into a Fleet Beacon, into Sky Toss, or into a longer, or into just a higher base count, into a longer game. Oh, let's go.